Well, cheers and howdy do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? What's up, Tommy on Quaaludes? No, anyways, continuing my foray into wine, my Missouri wine of the week, if you will. Stonehill Winery, 2017 Chambourcin, Missouri Dry Red. So, this one is, does it say here? No, it says here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. I'm trying to see the ABV, but I wasn't seeing it here. Oh, there it is. 13.5%. So I had discovered that I like the Chambourcin. You know, back in the 90s when I was starting, late 90s, when I was starting to discover wine, I was more into whites at the time, more so than dry reds, in particular the Sauvignon Blanc. But as I've gotten to rediscover wines, you know, and trying different wines from the small Missouri wineries, it really, so the Norton and the Chambourcin are the two that have really stood out with me in a few wineries. I almost said breweries there out of habit. Tyler Ridge had a Chambourcin I really liked, and a Chambourcin blend I really liked. And then there was Ozark Hills. I bought the Chambourcin up there. And I haven't tried this one yet either, but again, it's the Norton and the Chambourcin, those very full-bodied reds that it seems that I like very much. Although this one says medium body. A medium body red wine with silky tannins, vibrant plum, and red cherry aromas backed up by black pepper and toffee notes. Pairs well with grilled meat, salmon, pastas, and rich red sauces and ripe cheeses such as brie or camembert. Stonehill Winery continues a tradition of crafting award-winning wines from locally grown grapes. Now, this Stonehill isn't necessarily local winery to me. It's in Herman, about a 3.5, maybe 4-hour drive from here. But I'm going to call it local-ish. At one time, they did have a outlet store in Branson. Unfortunately, they no longer do. What used to be the Stonehill outlet is now the Ozark Hills outlet. Ozark Hills Winery outlet. So anyway, like I said, I haven't had this particular Chambourcin before, but I wanted to give it a try. Now the one from Ozark Hills, I believe they call it Campfire or something. This again goes great with steaks. Tasting, and I thought it would go great with like a grilled portobello as well. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I do feel the plum and the cherry notes. Also, the black pepper really comes out. But I'm just going to take it a little farther, though, and say it's very deep, dark, almost overripe plum. I'm going to say a dark cherry, almost a sour cherry-like note. Oh wow, that's delicious. Yeah. Yes, I mean, I originally described it as full body. Medium body is probably more correct. It's not quite as full bodied as most of the Nortons that I've had, but yeah, there's a lot going on here. Of course, growing up, you know, back in the '90s when I was learning about wine. All I knew about reds then was, you know, of course there was you had the Cabernet, you had the Cab, you had the Merlot, and that was pretty much what we knew. Syrah, and I wasn't familiar with the Norton or the Chambourcin, but those are the two that have really struck me as of late, as we've been hitting a lot of these small Missouri wineries. Again, I'm trying to approach wine the same way I'm approaching beer. I'm not going to the store and buying those mass-produced products, those names that everybody knows. I'm trying to hit these small local or local-ish, these Missouri wineries, in some case Arkansas wineries. To spread the love a little bit. I mean, those big guys don't need my money. So I'm trying to support as much of these local wineries, or smaller wineries, maybe it's better to say it that way, that some of you may not know of. So if you come to this town, maybe you're a beer guy, maybe you're a wine guy, maybe you're a little bit of both, like myself, or trying to be anyway, I should say. You can find these local wineries as well as the breweries. For instance, if you're traveling 44 from St. Louis, let's say you're going from St. Louis to Joplin, get off on 44, you'll hit Public House Brewing. But in that same parking lot is St. James Winery. About a couple block walk from there is Merrimack Winery. And about a mile up the road there, you're going to find Prairie Barn Winery. So if you can hit a lot of things in one little spot right there. I'm going to add that I feel like a bit of a raisin note in there as well. A very silky mouthfeel. Pleasantly dry. But those black pepper notes, yeah, you do feel those black pepper notes, and it really helps break up that sweetness there. And again, the cherry notes they mentioned, for me it's a combination of dark cherry and sour cherry notes. Certainly some plum you're going to find, without a doubt. Gosh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to pair this a little bit later with our dinner. I'm going to do an American style goulash, so I'll go back over that again with you when we get there. We're not ready to start dinner yet, but I was just getting close, getting stuff ready earlier. Got my spices ready to go, got my spice blend ready to go. Got some Hungarian paprika. I buy in bulk from my Amish store, so I've got the Hungarian pap, but also a smoked pap. I like to combine both of them, even though the recipe might not call for the smoked pap. I like to add a little bit of that for flavor, but for color as well. It's a deep dark red, so it really helps get that, that color you want in a goulash. Tried to kind of recapture the 70s with this particular version. A little bit of comfort food, I guess. Of course, is it true goulash? No, of course it's not. It's what a lot of us grew up with in the late 60s and 70s. But it says it would pair well with red meat, any grilled meat, anything like that. So I thought it would pair well. It's a red sauce here I mentioned. So I thought, even though it doesn't mention goulash specifically, I thought, well, with the ground beef and the seasoned tomato sauce, the paprika, I thought it would pair well with this. So that's my thoughts anyway. I'll let you know how it goes later. I made some Johnny cakes for breakfast. For those of you that aren't familiar with Johnny cake, it's basically a pancake that incorporates cornmeal. In this case, I used corn flour and cornmeal along with, a typical pancake mix. Very rich pancake, Johnny cakes. Kept lunch a little simple. I had some leftover black beans. We did a black bean toast on it, so we kept lunch light. I'm trying to learn to cook smaller, which is not something I'm good at. Not something I'm good at all. I'm used to cooking in big batches. Coming from the family I grew up in, and then, I'm used to cooking a lot of food, so I know I'm trying to learn to cook small, because we don't eat leftovers all that great, in all honesty. So I'm trying to learn to cook small, and then we're trying to cut the portion size down for my wife and myself, so it's trying to, change learned behaviors, and that's very difficult. It really is, man. So I'm cooking a smaller batch than I typically would do. One, because I want to give us smaller portions, and then secondly, again, I don't want a lot of leftovers. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is the first time I've really been enjoying various Chambourcins that I've had, but I haven't had this one before. I gotta tell you, I find it very enjoyable. Let me show you this bottle again. Stonehill Chambourcin. It says 2017, so it's got a couple years. It's got about 5 years on her. I don't know. I'm a beer guy. What the hell do I know? I don't know how long, it ought to be aged or should be aged, or what would be the perfect age. Hell, I don't know. What do I know? Um, that's why I'm never going to call myself, well, I may never call myself a wine guy, but I'm trying to get there. Anyway, I am Tom. You know who I am. I'm just going to skip to the end and say all around good guy, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you.